Did he get all the cards yet? All right, our next storyteller tonight is also another first-timer for Beyond Border Storytelling, Paula Junn. She has a crush on the guy who makes her chicken sandwiches, and one day he asked her out, and thus begins the adventure. Please welcome Paula Junn and her story, Dragons, Dragons, Dragons.
Hi. I can't see anybody. This is awesome. My name is Paula, and I love the feeling of having crushes on people. It's just so exciting, you know, like the suspense, the excitement. It's so fun, and then the inevitable phasing out of the crush, and then maybe a friendship emerges or not. This story takes place in Western Massachusetts, my sophomore year at college. And, you know, it was like February, spring semester, and I got bored of the dining hall food that I ate every day. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on an adventure and go to the basement of the dining hall, which revealed a sandwich bar, and that's where I saw him. His name was Ron. I remember his last name too, Ron Boybo. He's not on anywhere of social media, so don't worry. I'm not worried. But I remember his last name because he was like, it's like French, you know, like forest and beauty, a beautiful forest. And he said Boybo, and I was like, isn't it Boabo? But like, anyway, that was besides the point. He was this tall, medium-built, blue-eyed white guy, and he always wore a white uniform and a navy blue hat, like a cap, and I was mesmerized. The first day I went, I ordered a chicken salad wrap and a Mountain Dew because I was kind of like, he was so handsome and I didn't know what to order, so I was just like, well, what's normal? So I ordered a chicken salad wrap and a Mountain Dew. And then we like said hi, and like it was the first time I saw him, so I didn't really say anything. And then I like sat back and just kind of pondered how good looking he was and all these things. And then went back to my dorm and like whatever. The next day I go back. The following day I go back, and every time I order a chicken salad wrap and a Mountain Dew. This goes on for about 2 months, and every time I go, we chat about, like, you know, the deep philosophical conversations, like how are you, the weather's blah in the winter of Massachusetts. And one day after like the 2 months had gone by, the conversation went somewhere, and he was like, do you want to go out for coffee? And he was like kind of this soft-spoken, very gentle soul being. That's what I thought. And he asked me out to coffee, and I was like, yeah, like, awesome. This is like my first American date. The thing you don't know is that I was born in the US, but I grew up in Korea. But I came back for college, came back to the States for college, and this was like gonna be my first date. And since I've never been on a date in the US before, I didn't know what to expect. But so like a week goes by, and it's the day of the date. I'm all dolled up in like a denim skirt, high heel boots, a black shirt and like a coat, and I'm just like all like makeup and everything, the whole 9 yards. I'm ready for him. And he shows up in this big bright blue truck, and it's huge, and I'm like, oh, cool, we're riding in a truck, cool. I was expecting like a Camry, you know? But it was big and blue, and I get in the truck, and I'm like, hi, Ron, and there's like big bright blue dice hanging in the mirror, rear view mirror, so I was like, so, you like blue, huh? And he says, yeah, man, I fucking love blue. Blue, yellow, purple are my favorite colors. I fucking love them. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, is this the same person? Where's like the soft-spoken, like gentlemanly guy? And now I'm imagining, I forget what he was wearing, but now I'm imagining a guy in a wife beater and baggy jeans with his boxers hanging out, you know, that kind of thing. And so I'm like, okay, I'll roll with this. And he says how like he built this truck. He asked me if I liked the truck, and I was like, it's fine. And he's like, I built this truck with my 2 bare hands. And I'm like, cool. And we were like, okay, let's go. So we drive into town, which is called Great Barrington, away from campus. And he's telling me about his paraplegic uncle who's addicted to heroin. And I'm like, why is this coming up? But I'm trying to be a good listener. So I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, not cool, but you know. And we drive into town, and we drive through. We go to the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through. This is like the epitome of an American date that I've been waiting for. So we get to the, register window, and he looks at me and he's like, what do you want? I'll have a chocolate donut and a coffee, please. And he's like, okay. The cashier lady says, it's $3.25. And I reach for my purse, and he puts his arm out. It's on me. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Great. So we go to the next window. We get our coffee and donuts. And I'm like, now what, Like, are we gonna sit in the parking lot? And he drives us to this lake called Mansfield Lake, like in town. And I knew about this lake. It's a beautiful place, like something out of Pride and Prejudice, something like that. And it's like lined with trees, and this place is beautiful on any day. This particular day, it was February in Massachusetts, so it's like cold, wet, but still beautiful, And we're there, and we get out of the truck, and we stand by the lake, and we're gazing out. And I don't know how much time had gone by, but I think about 10 minutes, but it felt like eternity. And I don't know, this is my first date. What am I supposed to expect? Kissing, that was beyond my imagination. And at that point, I was like, who is this guy? Am I really gonna, no. But about 10 minutes go by, which is not that long, but not that short either. He looks at his watch and he's like, I gotta get back to work. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that's my first date. And I get back in the truck, and this time I noticed the interior of the truck, which I don't know why I didn't notice it the first time, because it was quite a sight. The entirety of the interior of the truck was covered in dragons, like dragon stickers everywhere. I think I would have had more respect if it was handcrafted. No, it was just black and white, fuzzies, hologramic. It was just covering the entirety of the interior of the truck. And I was like, okay, being the great conversationalist that I am, I say, so, you like dragons, huh? And he goes, yeah, man, I fucking love dragons. I'm gonna get a dragon tattoo, a band around my arm, and all of these dragons all over my back with its claws coming off of my shoulders. It's gonna be fucking awesome, man. And he's so serious, So I say, oh, cool. I don't have any tattoos, but it sounds kind of painful. And then he says, I fucking dig pain. So He drives me back home. I quit eating chicken salad wraps and Mountain Dew. That was like the last time I hung out with him. But you know, like I went to a kind of an unusual school where you graduate after your sophomore year. You get an AA. And I was graduating at the end of the semester. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna see him ever again. Let's just say goodbye. There were that 2-month period that I saw him every day, and now I don't, but I'll go say goodbye. So for the last time, I go to the sandwich bar, and I say my goodbye, and I tell him that I'm going back to Korea, and he's very sad. And he says, can we be pen pals? And I'm like, yeah, of course, that's so adorable. You can also have my email. And he says, you have computers in Korea? And I knew it was over. That's when I came to terms with the idea of you can be obsessed with someone, but that obsession can be so easily turned off by another's obsession. Thank you.